Tell us a little bit about your upbringing, how you got started.
My name is Jonathan Morales. I came from Colombia at the age of 10.
I've seen your growth, how you got started in this industry.
I don't know how it happened, but the haircut came on point. The haircut came out flawless.
I know that a lot of people are going to get a ton of value from your story today because you have a powerful story. I've had the pleasure of knowing you. So you started cutting hair, you started cutting your friends' hairs at high school?
In 1997, I was 11 years old.
Okay.
I was in 6th grade in junior high. Basically, I started cutting hair at my garage.
So Jonathan, I want to touch on how did you get into cutting celebrities? Who guided you? Was it Fernando that showed you the steps?
Yeah. He played a big role on my success. Also, I have another friend. His name is Robert Valentino.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Unleash Your Power. Today I have the great pleasure of interviewing someone who has made a name for himself in the barber industry. He's had the pleasure of working with celebrities such as J Balvin, Bad Bunny, French Montana, Banda MS, Abner Mares, Frankie J, and the list goes on and on. Today he's going to share with us how he got started in a garage to now owning his own barber studio. He's been able to travel the world, inspire other barbers to get in the barber industry. Please, without further ado, help me welcome the one and only Jonathan Deluxe. Hey, Jonathan, so can you tell us a little bit about who you are? How did you get started in the barber industry? A little bit about your background so people can get to know you.
My name is Jonathan Morales, and I have a Peruvian Colombian background. I actually came to this country at the age of 10 from Colombia for a better opportunity, better life, and better future. And I discovered barbering at the age of 11.
Wow.
I was just cutting my friend's hair at my garage just for tips, for fun. I used to do it as a hobby, not knowing that I had a real talent on my hands, not knowing that I was super good at what I was doing. I remember my first haircut took me almost 3 hours, but honestly, after those 3 hours, the haircut came out flawless. It came out super perfect. And you tell me how I did it, I don't know how. It just happened,
Right.
But after that, I started building my clientele in my high school, making money. Like my dad at that time couldn't afford to give us allowance because, the times were kind of difficult back then. So I started thinking, like, what if I help my dad by buying my own stuff? So that was kind of how I discovered barbering. And at the time, I was making good money out of it,
So you started, how much were you charging your friends?
Honestly, I was charging my friends like $5. I used to go on my bike, and I used to have a little bell that it would say, like, I used to ring it, and I'll be like, haircuts. It was funny. I used to live in the city of Maywood,
Right.
where I grew up here in Los Angeles, and over there the cities are like 52, 53, 54.
Right.
So I would go block to block cutting people's hair.
Ringing the bell?
Yeah, ringing the bell. It's kind of embarrassed right now, but that's how it started.
Hey,
a lot of
humble
people
beginnings.
remember me. Yeah.
After high school, did you pursue barbershop or did you get into something else?
Honestly, after high school, my dad always wanted me to become a cop, a police officer.
Wow.
So I kind of wanted, to make my dad's dream come true, because since he did everything for me to come to this country for a better opportunity, so I decided to join the military for him, So I joined the military. I joined the United States Army, and I choose parachuting, like jumping out of airplanes.
Wow.
Yeah, the tough job.
How many times did you do that?
I actually jumped over 35 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to, I want to go ahead and get into the barbershop?
Sometimes in life we have to make decisions. I remember one time one of my friends asked me if he had 2 kids at the time, right? He asked me if I could show him how to cut hair for his kids, so he could cut the hair and save money. I'm a humble guy. I told him, yeah, I'll help you. But not knowing he was gonna do it for business, he actually opened his own barbershop, and that motivated me to do it too. I was like, I had the experience, been doing this for so long. I have a talent, so why don't just try it, And at that time, I met somebody else. met a guy, a barber also. I don't want to say no names, but but I met somebody that I thought I had a future with him. We opened up a shop together, and honestly, it was the worst experience of my life and the best experience also.
So you went from having the barbershop to
going back home,
parting ways with your partner, going back home, starting to cut hair again at the garage.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then after that, I went to go work for my friend's shop in Linwood. His name is Fernando. He owns a barbershop by the name of Global Cuts. And that guy was kind of like my role model. He was on top. He had cut over 80 something celebrities. He had a name for himself. And when I met him, I had barely started,
So you started working at his barbershop, he started mentoring you on how to cut celebrities?
Yeah, how to become successful, how to get into the celebrities clientele.
Who was your first celebrity?
My first celebrity is a 4-time world champion. He's a Mexican boxer from Guadalajara, Jalisco. His name is Ander Mares.
Wow.
And now he's a good friend of mine. I remember the first time when I cut his hair, I was super nervous. I'm not gonna lie, because he's a boxer.
Absolutely.
And then I don't know why I was thinking to my head like, man, I don't wanna mess up his hair and then knock me out, But it was a great experience. I was super nervous, but he's an amazing guy, super humble. Gave me a huge tip. I had never got paid so much, and it was a great experience for me.
Like going back to everything that you went through. You started cutting hair at a young age. Mm-hmm. You went to the army. From right there, you started working at FedEx, which was something out of the norm, something that wasn't in your timeline at the moment. Mm-hmm. And then you transitioned into the barber industry, but you partnered up with someone. Did you leave FedEx completely?
Yeah. I left 100%.
So that must have been tough, because like you mentioned right now, you just got a house. You have a family, and now you just open a business. You had a lot of risk.
Yeah.
Like you took a huge risk at that moment. What did your wife did your wife support you in those aspects?
Honestly, at first she was a little bit upset, because imagine having everything and then one day go home and, hey, I don't have nothing. So it was a tough decision, but she kept supporting me all the time, and I told her, you know what, we're gonna go through this, I'm gonna do it for you, and I'm gonna do it for my 2 kids. So I did it.
Little that I've known you, I think I met you when you started cutting hair in Southgate, actually.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the barbershop, but that's where I met you, and I met you through Instagram. You started posting your stuff, and I reached out to you, and I'm like, man, you're Colombian, I'm Colombian. We connected at that moment. But I've seen your growth. I've seen your commitment, working long hours, putting all that time, all that work, to now owning your own barber studio. How amazing is that? You went from losing everything to bouncing back and coming back even stronger now. Now you have a facility where it's helping out even other barbers. Like I've seen you when you're cutting hair, when you're actually cutting my hair, sometimes you have people that you're teaching them how to cut hair. You're mentoring people now how they can master their skill and get better on their craft. So that's so powerful, Jonathan, because not that many people have the will and the power to do that, and to believe in themselves and believe on the craft that you have. So I'm proud of you, brother, because you're doing a phenomenal job, and you've taken your social media and you've used it to build a business, and now you're helping a lot of people. So how did you transition from you said you went from 700 followers to now you have over, I believe, 200,000?
206,000.
Wow, 206,000, guys. That's amazing. And that's in a little bit about like
2-3 years.
2-3 years, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's huge right there.
What I could say, a lot of people tell me, how do you get so many followers? All I can say to new upcoming barbers, whenever you do, in my experience is, whenever I get a new celebrity, I try to do my best. I try to cut hair, but don't ask them for shout outs. Like, just let it be. Like, cut their hair so good that they do it on their own.
Right.
If a celebrity shout you out on the page. For example, when I cut Banda MS, they got 2 million followers. I cut their hair in 2 days. I have over 54K followers. When I cut Bad Bunny, he has almost 4 million followers. When I cut his hair, I went from 54K to like 76K in 1 day. Wow. It just, you just gotta be thankful and do a good job so that they refer you to different clients, and your social media is just up and up and up and up.
Yeah, it's gonna continue growing and growing, and man, you're doing a phenomenal job with that. So what made you open your own studio? Because you're cutting celebrities' hair and everything. You're doing your own thing.
The only reason I wanted to make my own studio is because I wanted to be recognized as a celebrity barber that has his own barber studio. I don't want to be recognized as the barber that works at a shop. Like, I wanted to build my name,
right?
And by building my name, I got in touch to. I don't know if you see these lines here.
I see those lines everywhere.
They're my sponsors.
Wow.
They're called Maintain Grooming. It's a wonderful company. Their CEO and the brand director, they're amazing people. It's a new brand. They've been on the market for like almost 3 years, but they supported me on everything that I do. They support me on me expanding my work to different countries. I just recently came from Puerto Rico. We did a barber expo there for San Juan, Puerto Rico, and it's an amazing country.
How was that experience for you?
Oh, super good. Cutting hair for almost thousands of people, signing autographs.
Did you ever imagine doing that, Jonathan?
No, taking pictures. It's just an amazing feeling.
Wow, man. Mm-hmm. How does your parents, your mom, your wife,
my dad and my mom, she's super proud of me. Imagine seeing your son on TV live. I came out and also on La Remanía with Larry Hernandez. I came out.
And you came out in a couple of videos as well.
I came out in a lot of videos. I came out with Frankie J. I came out with Jesus Mendoza as a regional singer. I'm pretty much trying to do anything I can, and I know I could do it.
Absolutely. No, and you're doing it. What is the one thing that has been the most absurd thing that you've seen in these last 2 years being an owner now of a business?
A lot of barbers reaching out to me to want to work with me, and it's an amazing feeling because you're like the role model. Like, people, I got DMs from people from Mexico, from Brazil, from Europe, from Puerto Rico, from Colombia that admire my work.
Wow.
And it's so amazing.
It's people that you don't even know.
I don't even know them, but even though they have like little followers on Instagram, I still reply. I still show them love, I'm just like that. I'm a super humble barber,
Because you remember where you started. You were just like them at one point.
And I like to have sometimes, like, I like to help out people. Meaning, if I have a celebrity and he's in another city and he needs a haircut, sometimes I refer him to another barber. I like to help my barbers that work for me at my barbershop. For example, when I cut celebrities, I take my barbers as my assistants so they could have the experience of what I did at one point.
So that's amazing, and you're exposing them to that environment. Yeah. So they're seeing what's possible for them.
Yeah.
So that alone is motivating.
Yeah.
And if it does, it inspires them to want to get better at their craft, master their craft.
Mm-hmm. I believe that if I go big on the industry, my whole team goes big with me. That's my mentality that I have.
So going on that, where do you see Jonathan Deluxe in the next 5 to 10 years?
Honestly, I want to expand. Actually gonna, hopefully in 2 years, I open up Jonathan Deluxe #2, and then #3, and #4, and I want to expand. And hopefully,
what cities are you planning on expanding?
My next city is gonna be Downey for sure.
Nice.
Downey, and take over Downey.
Yeah, they need some good barbers in Downey, man.
You will see me in Downey soon.
That's awesome.
And the only reason I decided to open up in Bell was because I went to Bell High School, and I don't know, I wanted to come back to my city where I started cutting hair as a little kid, and that's why I opened it up in Bell. But yeah, hopefully we're gonna do Downey, maybe the second shop.
Absolutely, man. I see so much for you, Jonathan. I know that you have a gift. You have that anointing gift of cutting hair, and not only that, but connecting with people. And just through the barber, you've been able to connect and develop such powerful relationships with all these amazing people that I know that there's a lot more in store for you, and I know that there's greater and bigger things, and I know that you're gonna inspire so many people. I see for you that having your own way of helping all those people in Mexico and Puerto Rico and how they go master their craft through a program that you're gonna be able to inspire them and be their role model and help them get to that success where you're going to. So I know that there's a lot of great things in store for you, and I see it. You're constantly working hard every day. And what drives you, man? What moves you to get better every day and master your craft? 'Cause every time you cut my hair, you're trying different things, different techniques, and you keep mastering it, man.
Well, a lot of people don't know, but I have a passion, especially since I'm right-handed. And I'm gonna say this because I haven't told anybody, but when I was in the military, I almost died. I got wounded. I did 3 trips in Iraq. I went to Baghdad, Afghanistan, and Fallujah. My last trip, I got wounded. I lost my right lung.
Wow.
I was paralyzed for almost 2 years. I couldn't move my right arm. That experience, it was super tough for me because I thought I wasn't gonna be able to move my right arm, and I love cutting hair. Thank God I was able to have range of motion on my hand, and that's why when I cut hair, I'm always super detailed, because I remember the times when I couldn't even raise my hand all the way up.
Wow.
So that's why when people ask me, why you take like an hour when you cut my hair, why you cut my hair so detailed, is because at one point in my life I didn't have no range of motion. I didn't have no movement on my hand. I had to wear one of those things, so yeah, it was a tough experience for me,
Now you're not taking it for granted. You're enjoying every moment that you're cutting hair. That's awesome, Jonathan. Well, Jonathan, I want to thank you for taking the time to sit down with us. Can you tell the people where they could reach you at, how they could follow you, and one last words on what tips can you give people that are trying to get into the barber industry? What are some things that they could take and apply today for their career?
Well, you could find me on Instagram. My personal page is Jonathan494, and you can follow my business as Jonathan _Deluxe. But advice that I give new barbers, upcoming barbers, is always stay humble. Always apply new techniques. If somebody with more experience than you tells you something, don't get mad. It's called constructive criticism. If you apply everything they tell you, you're always going to be successful. Stop thinking, oh, I'm the Mr. Perfect, I'm Mr. This. No, right. I take it's constructive criticism at this time in my life, and don't beg for sponsorships to sponsor you. Like, try to do your best when you cut hair, and all those successful things will come to you like it did to me in my life.
Absolutely. Let your work speak for itself.
Yeah.
And this is a true sample of following his passion, and living up to his passion, and going out there and building a business. See, it doesn't matter what industry you're in. This could be applied to anything. It's all about mindset, and what this gentleman has a powerful mindset, and he believed that he was one of the greatest when it came to cutting hair. And because he believed this so much, now he's at where he's at right now, and so much success is gonna follow him throughout the year. So if he could do it, you guys could do it. You just gotta believe in yourself. You gotta see that it's possible for you, and trust me, surround yourself with people that are playing a big game, and it's gonna be contagious. Success is contagious, and the more people that you surround yourself with that are providing value for you, that are helping you grow, that are helping you get to the next level, and like he said, learn from them. If they're giving you advices, take them in and get better every day. This podcast, it was all a vision. As we're getting throughout the episode, we're getting better. We're not perfect. I'm making a ton of mistakes, but guess what? We're gonna get better because this is a passion that we have, and my mission, my intention with all these podcasts is to bring people that have been successful and that are successful and that are in the trenches and that are playing a big game, so you guys can see that it's possible for you guys. So once again, thank you for tuning in. Tune in to the next episode. And Jonathan, man, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate your time.
Hey, this is Jonathan Deluxe. Don't forget to tune in to Unleash Your Power so you can learn more about my success story as a celebrity barber.